Pull up a chair and pour a glass. Got stories that are built to last. Yeah, with the old-fashioned dads.
So,
Like, good times there.
so I guess we need to start this.
I guess it's our first official episode.
First official
Do we say it's official?
I don't see why not. Well, welcome to episode 1 of
Old-Fashioned Dads.
I'm Trevor,
I'm Justin.
and we're here to talk about
Old fashions and being old fashioned and
being a dad
the dumb things that come around with being
Sure.
old fashioned.
and whatever happens when you drink a few old fashions.
When you have too many old fashions and you get yourself into situations that you feel the need to talk about, apparently, to the world. So I don't know if we'll try a new bourbon every single time or
no, but we obviously both bought a bottle for our first inaugural one.
Yes,
and thought we would try it and see what happens. I mean, we'll definitely try a few different ones, but there's only so many bourbons. I don't know how many episodes we're gonna have, but
thousands.
Yes,
that they will tell us. We'll get messages eventually where they're like, "You need to just stop with all of the bourbon." So yeah, we took a random trip to Kentucky, and we've got 14 new bourbons that they took at the border. So we actually can't give them to you.
It's not on the books yet, but I mean, hey, that's doing a podcast from Kentucky on old fashions. I think that'd be a good one.
It depends on the popularity of this, of whether people actually want that or not.
But I want that.
Well, I want it too.
Like, if we're gonna go to the heart of where the bourbon is made, and
I wonder how many people will just invite us in to make them their best old fashions because they know.
I don't know.
Other than you, when I talk to people and I say, like, what's your favorite cocktail? I say old fashions. Not a lot of people actually say that old fashions is their like go-to.
But if you ordered one, how many people would order one because you ordered one?
Mm-hmm.
Right. And it's like, oh, I never thought of that. I'll have an old fashioned too. Right. So, but I mean, the same goes for any cocktail. Like, we were out with customers one night and somebody ordered whiskey sour. Well, next thing you know, there are 4 whiskey sours that were ordered. Right. So just because you don't have a go-to or you haven't had that in a while, it's like, oh, that sounds delicious. I think I'll have that too.
Did you start with old fashions? I think everybody at our, I guess we should preface that you are exactly
old.
10 years older than me. So
and that matters because
it doesn't, but our introduction to what we were exposed to when we became drinking age in Saskatchewan, which is
it was Pilsner and Bohemian and some shitty
for sure, yes. And mine was Pill, but like now I can't drink that horse piss. Like, it's just it's so bad. It's just terrible. But I mean, like, I think Caesars have always been a staple. So my first, I guess if you call it is a cocktail. You're mixing different things.
I think we need to have a whole episode on Caesars somewhere down the road.
We will. But I'm just saying, like,
but yeah, Caesars are
a safe bet when entering the world of drinking cocktails in Saskatchewan.
I don't know, because like you have to like Clamato, and if you
do you think there are a lot of people that don't?
Yes.
Here or in the rest of the world because they've never had it?
Both.
Okay.
And then there's people that would be allergic because of shellfish, right? You can't have Clamato because of the
We've been over this multiple times. Allergies are the natural way that the world thins the herd. Like peanuts.
I guess, but some people might not have a Caesar then because of that.
You've met my buddy who I guess we'll say names later on as it progresses and it feels more organic. But we have a buddy that helped me coach football and that I play hockey with, and he can't have mushrooms. So if he has if it's anywhere near him, just dies.
Like this, just the psychedelic kind or any kind?
I assume it's both kinds. but honestly, if every time we go out and we have a steak He will has mushrooms touched this? Are they near it? Can the
So
steaks?
it's like as severe as like a peanut allergy?
Well, it sounds ridiculous, but it's like, has this steak smelt mushrooms in the last 24 hours? Like, that's how anaphylactic he is to just mushrooms.
Like he's got to go to the hospital if.
Oh yeah, like you're driving to the hospital and
so no truffle oil fries from or anything. Then
the fuck do you think? It's funny that you say that because I have a stern opinion on truffle oil, and that's only because I watch a lot of
cooking shows
It
while
is.
you're drinking old fashions or
Sometimes it's a whiskey sour, but mostly it's old fashioned.
All right.
Yes, but I watch a lot of, and if you ever cook with truffle oil, you don't know what you're doing, because when you hear the word truffle, you think, oh, eloquent. Oh, pigs found this in the forests of Italy. Sure, real truffles taste completely different than truffle oil. Truffle oil will fucking absolutely ruin a dish.
Are we swearing in this? I guess so.
Because we really didn't talk about
We
that.
didn't. That's fine.
Like, what is that? If we have a podcast on old fashions, I'm hoping that
I think
people under the age of the drinking age in the country that you currently are listening to this, I think we should be able to swear organically.
Okay, I just
for myself, I think it's good.
If I had to filter it or not. Anyways,
If we're just gonna beep,
yeah, continue.
and the beep and beep and beep, and truffle beep.
So cooking with truffle oil.
Don't cook with truffle oil, because even one drop of truffle oil is it's like fake truffle. So it's so concentrated that it will ruin everything.
Yeah, I got a buddy of mine that I never had truffle oil fries before or whatever, and he's like that shit's like kerosene. I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
How do you know what kerosene tastes like to compare it? Like,
you're one of those guys.
well, but like you're gonna pick something like there's got to be a connection, a correlation.
I've
to
drank
it, right?
certain bourbons that taste like gasoline, but I've never actually drank gasoline. But I assume that that's what gasoline tastes like.
Okay, I mean, I've said the same thing, but at the same point, I'd probably still call you out. Like you used to like siphon gas, and it's like, oh yeah, that's what that tastes like.
Oh, yeah, growing up on the west side.
Will not buy that again. I had gas for the weekend.
Oh God! Listen, times were tough.
Hey, I get it, man. You got to do what you got to do. And like Friday night is Friday night. And you're gonna cruise the streets and do it.
Yeah, we got to cruise 8th Street.
8th Street. Well, back in the day, you would have.
Yeah. Do they? I don't know if they do it anymore.
No, they don't.
If
COVID screwed everything up. Nobody.
Fucking COVID.
Like I used to. Well, I grew up in Regina, so we used to cruise Albert Street. We go to one side, turn around, and drive around back to the other side.
Is that the street that we drive down when we leave Regina, and it's all decrepit?
Well, it depends on where on Albert Street, but yes.
Like, is that where that McDonald's is when we leave the city? Is
yes.
that Albert?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, definitely avoid Albert at all costs.
But when you're 16, you got your license, and you got nothing to do on Friday night, and we weren't able to drink old fashioned. I didn't know what an old fashioned was at that point, so we'd cruise 8th Street. But now I'm older and I'm sophisticated, and I drink sophisticated, and I drink old fashions. So you know,
that comes full circle. Then, what was your very first cocktail that you gravitated towards? Because you were young, and obviously, I do think that enjoying an old fashioned takes cliche, but like sophistication. Like, you need to know what you like in a bourbon, what you like in a cocktail. Can you handle? It's like when our boys first try beer, you have this overinflated sense of like, I get to drink beer. And
like
I tell
Shazam, I'll have a case of your finest beer, please.
Yes, exactly.
Oh, that tastes like actual vomit.
And so you have to tell them, like, listen, you're probably not going to like the first 4 beers you have. And then something switches and you start enjoying that beer.
Well, we used to, when I was 19, me and my buddies, we used to make our own beer. And it was
so different.
It was terrible. It was terrible.
At no point in my life have I thought I should make a beer.
Well, we made beer and we made wine. I mean, we drank it because we made it, but like it was terrible. And of course it was terrible. I didn't like beer when I was first started to drink, and
Mhm.
my dad was always a rye and Coke guy, so that's what I did. And then my buddy was like a white rum and Coke, so I had white rum and like,
Oh, we've
oh
talked about
yeah,
white rum.
white rum. We
When
did
when
talk.
we release the Lost episode, there is a entire bit on white rum and
Uh,
then
but as far as cocktail, I was more into highballs before I was into cocktails. Like
so
I'd say I would have been before. Like
so
I
you
would have
don't
a
consider
season.
a highball a cocktail?
Well, if you want to call it like a Cuba Libre or whatever,
No, I just mean
or a
like
screwdriver or
no,
whatever.
I don't mean necessarily that, but I mean like is Jack and Coke a cocktail?
No,
So what extent do you have to take a drink past Jack and Coke before you can consider it a cocktail?
if you've got to mix more than two ingredients that come out of the tap.
I feel like this like we should ask Google like or some sort of AI that may or may not sponsor this podcast at some point what constitutes as a cocktail.
Well,
But I
but
think it's just two things mixed together.
yeah, but if you just so if you go and say I'll have a rye and Coke or rum and Coke, and they pour it off the, whether it's the house booze that you've ordered or it's coming off the taps, and it's just two things into a cup, that's a highball. Like
Okay, so a highball
even a
is not a
screwdriver.
I
Like
think for
if
our
you go,
listeners we should dictate exactly what we're considering cocktails and what are just highballs.
yeah, but if you go to the bar and you order a vodka and orange juice, which is a screwdriver,
It's a cocktail.
vodka OJ I would consider a highball. But if you order a
But if you name it, it's a
if you
cocktail?
yes,
Okay,
well, part of it's
so if
marketing
you
and
said
money, right? Like
if you said, okay, well, see, this is I challenge you and I go, well, if a Jack and Coke is not a cocktail, it's a highball. But then you name it. If you said it was a Jack and Coke, technically that's
but if you
still
ordered a
name.
rum and Coke, right, it's a highball. But if you ordered a Cuba Libre, it's a cocktail, and it's the same thing. You watch Cocktail the movie, and
Ugh.
what's a Cuba Libre?
That movie is ridiculous. That I think it was like 3 years ago that we watched, and I was like, I'd never. There are these.
You did watch it?
I
The
did.
blink, blink, blinkety, blink.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. I am Tom Cruise.
Whoa,
I'm a less attractive Tom Cruise.
whoa, Maverick, whoa.
Like you can be my goose. It's completely fine.
No, you can be my wingman.
You know, like we'll agree to disagree on who
All
each
right,
other's wingman
fair
is.
enough.
Okay, so back to it. A cocktail is not considered a cocktail unless it has a name. These are the ground rules we've established.
Yes,
Okay.
and it needs to be more than just
So
a
a Caesar
booze-
would be considered a cocktail.
yes.
Okay. So then again, what was your first cocktail that you got on a semi-regular basis that you enjoyed?
Outside of, like, once we moved past highballs, well, that's what I started with, right? Because I didn't
You're
like
right,
beer,
you're
I didn't
right.
like wine, so I was drinking highballs. And then I would say Caesar was probably my first go-to cocktail. But that's one where, like, you can probably have one or two. It's not something where
You're not going to drink that all night unless you're
Well,
a serial killer.
some people can and do.
Those people will never be invited onto the podcast.
Well, fair enough. I mean, to each their own, right? Tomato, tomato. We like old fashioned. Somebody likes Caesars.
Well, then start your own
but
fucking Caesar podcast.
Fair
You
enough.
psychopath.
Well, maybe. Well, we're going to talk about Caesars later in more depth, because I think there's.
I guess I
something
think
to
that
it.
like eventually we will reach an inevitable conclusion on having old fashions. So I think always starting with an old fashioned, but then maybe
well, we'll try some stuff.
take a word from our
We're-
sponsor and then we disappear and we go make
try
a
a new
different
cocktail.
Like, that book over there, the Cocktail Codex, I really like that as a coffee table cocktail book, because I think it's like having the different categories and different things that you can evolve this into.
Sure, but I guess let's go back and what drew you to an old fashioned? I don't think I can place a time when I first had an old fashioned, but it is definitely my go-to cocktail. But there's more to it than just the old fashioned. Like if you go into a place and they make beer and that's what they serve, you don't go in there and order an old fashioned. So what is it about
Mhm.
for you? What is it about the old fashioned? Why is it your go-to?
I I think the allure of the cocktail itself, you're getting essentially a bourbon is a sweeter whiskey, so you're getting a plethora of different takes on that cocktail. You can have different simple syrups, you can have different garnishes, you can have different bitters, you can have different smoking techniques.
Okay, I'm going to stop you for a second.
Mhm.
And but before, all the different stuff, and I mean, we're going to try it, and we have
Mhm.
been
Mhm.
trying different things and experimenting with our own old fashions. But what is it about the old fashioned?
To me, it was this sounds ridiculous, but it's like I used to watch Mad Men a lot,
Oh, that,
and so there's something that when I
so there's a,
not that I'm saying, hold on, I need to preface this
okay.
because as we talk through various themes of this podcast, I don't think Don Draper is the epitome of what a man should be. But when you were watching the show and you watched him have cocktails, it always had, dark colored cocktails. And so growing up, there was no intent that I'm not a man until I've drank a fancy cocktail.
An old
Be,
fashioned or a Manhattan or a
well,
martini
yeah, and
or
those were definitely not the first cocktails I gravitated towards. But when I saw that, I always loved the allure of it. I loved it seemed fancy. You know what I mean? Like you don't
yes.
order an old fashioned if you don't understand and I think respect the characteristics of that old fashioned. It was like there's something about the smoking, something about the ability to drink whiskey or bourbon straight that was like, "Oh yeah, you fancy yourself a cocktail drinker? Well, now if you can drink a bourbon, then you can say I'm a man." Even though I grew up in a household where I never up until I was probably 20 never saw my parents drink. Like I saw my mom and my stepdad have beer every so often, but my dad, I never saw him drink. There was alcohol in the house, but I never ever saw him drink. So there was never beer in the fridge. There was like a liquor cabinet per se, but it always had.
It's like the china cabinet where nothing ever came out of there.
Yeah, I never saw him drink. So when I finally, got to the point where I started enjoying the social aspect of alcohol, I just thought it was fun and it was distinguished. It was like if I go out with a group of friends and I order an old fashioned, like you said, a bunch of people start ordering old fashions. And you may not like it, and that's okay. But like any cocktail, the entry point is this socializing aspect.
Yes, I agree with you. It's with the old fashioned, it's seems like a somewhat of a sophisticated drink. It's been
Mm-hmm.
around for
Mm-hmm.
forever, but it's also,
So
when you break it down, is one of the simplest drinks to make.
and fuck up.
Yes.
Too much
So
simple syrup, you fucked it up. Too the wrong bourbon, you fucked it up.
not muddling it, you fucked it up.
Correct. The you know, but the bourbon being the major point, I think some bourbons mix well and some absolutely just don't and shouldn't.
Absolutely, and we've figured that out the hard way.
Lis- Listen, I went out for dinner last night with my spouse for our anniversary, and uh I guess this is we talked about it in we'll call it the Lost episode.
Okay.
I'm super excited to release that one day to listen to a 20-minute bit about melons. Um, but ultimately we go to this fancy restaurant. Well, I'll just say it, and it was Carver's, so we go there. Great steak, great food, great appetizer. Waitress was wonderful. That old fashioned,
Was lacking.
like a 3 out of 10.
See,
I
that's
won't be able to. We'll need many episodes to give you some sort of metric on how I judge them. but it was
Fair.
too sweet. The sugar hadn't dissolved properly. It didn't seem like a pre-made simple syrup, so which is fine. You can mix it in the cup, but if you don't muddle it properly, you get that concentration of sugar. And it was just there was just too much happening. The focal point of any cocktail should be the alcohol, whether you like the alcohol or not. And
But
and how a
yes,
restaurant,
everything should complement.
yeah, and honestly, the bourbon got muddied by the other stuff that was happening.
Okay.
And so I couldn't distinguish what the bourbon was. And I think a lot of places think that, that cocktail, which organically needs to have bourbon, it's bourbon. Bourbon is a sweeter whiskey. It's made differently. And I think some people try to pass off whiskey as bourbon, and I can almost taste it.
Well, I've been to some places, and it was a higher end steak place that I've been to where they don't carry bourbon because of the whole
Well, then don't offer old fashions.
boycott. I was willing to give it a try. It was, small batch. It wasn't local, but it was Canadian made whiskey, and it actually wasn't bad.
Mm-hmm.
But when you go to I'll use a steak place as an example. When you go to a place like that, you expect to have a nice wine list, both red and white.
Mm-hmm.
But you expect to have a decent classic cocktail list, and old
Pop
fashioned
quiz, a little aside, because I have ADD.
Squirrel.
Squirrel, blink, blink, blinkety, blink, blink, as you've so eloquently put it multiple times. Red or white with steak?
Well, I like red wine. So,
No. I'm not talking about what you prefer.
Yeah, it does.
What is the correct answer?
There is no correct answer.
Bullshit. Fuck you. If you're a person who's like, I like a really crisp, fruity white wine with my steak, kill yourself.
No, man. Like it's whatever. If you like white wine,
Not with steak.
And but my wife can't have red wine, so she'll have white wine. Like
true.
So
okay, all right.
So you know what? That's a very old school way of thinking. Red wine with red meat. White wine with white. Yes, it is. If you like it, there's a.
We'll respectfully disagree.
Like, you're not going to have a a Pinot Grigio or a Riesling with a steak, but a nice Chardonnay with steak is okay. That's not for me. That's not my thing. I'll take a Shiraz or a Zinfandel or a Cab Merlot. I like all red wines.
You're all across the board on that one right there.
But I mean, there's no right or wrong. What do you like? Like if I'm coming to your house and I don't know what you're making, what do you like? Do you like red wine? Do you like red wine or white wine? Then I'll bring that, and then whatever the pairing is fine.
Respectfully disagree, because I think, like, if you ask me, hey, what are you cooking tonight?
We're still friends. Just because we disagree, we're still friends. It's okay.
Is that allowed?
Yeah, to disagree or to still be friends?
Both.
Okay.
Hey, there is, my and full disclosure, my dad was a very good cook, and I learned a lot about cooking in a educational way, like learning from classes and learning from experimenting.
And the TV shows you watch, but
TV shows, but also, like, I've taken a lot of cooking classes. There was a point in my life that I thought going to culinary school was an option, and there are some what I consider absolutes, and you can disagree. There's two categories. There's the first category, which is what you prefaced, which is that certain whatever you like. If you want to drink a Zinfandel with pasta, great. If you want to drink it with steak, also great. Argue incorrect, but you're allowed to do whatever you want. I think that certain foods.
Who says what's right or what's wrong?
The palate. So I argue.
But everybody does different.
Hold on, it sounds so.
You can't say it's an absolute.
No, hold on. It sounds confrontational when I say that, but if you know me, then I like a little bit of a troll in some aspects. But
really?
I'm sorry, but a good Cab goes well with a steak because the dryness of the Cab Sav balances out the richness of the steak. And there's a reason why white wine goes with pasta. And there's a reason why ice wine goes with dessert. And there's a reason why cabs or very bold reds go with meat.
But if you have pasta with a marinara sauce and meat with it, I would pair that with a red wine. But I like red wine.
I disagree
right?
because
But if I'm having Alfredo and pasta or a little bit lighter, then I'll have a Pinot Grigio or a Chardonnay with that. I like wine too, so I'll drink white or red.
It's about the acidity and sugar content of the wine that balances out the dish. So with a meat, being that it's very meat like, is that the acidity and the content of a Cab Sav balances out the meat, just like with pasta, being that it is so rich that the sweetness and the fruitiness of the white balances out the pasta. If you're having a marinara, I argue that a marinara is inherently sweet to begin with. So although you might want to balance it out with a Cab, I still think
I probably wouldn't.
Dry
if I was doing
wine,
that, I wouldn't go quite a Cab. I'd do more of a Merlot or something not as full body as the Cab with the pasta, but I would still have a red wine, but that's my preference. And
that's great. And just fantastic. Wrong, but great.
There is no right or wrong here. Like, you can do whatever you want. You can pair what you want to have a Pilsner with that. I don't like Pilsner, but if you want a Pilsner with your pasta,
you know what? My favorite pairing with an Alfredo is a good dry Pilsner.
Teach their own, man. Like, we're not here telling you what to have with your meal.
No, I am.
I know you are. I disagree, but
how will we ever still continue this relationship as friends if we disagree?
That'd be freaking boring.
You know what? It's funny. I'll let you finish that thought.
Well, I was just gonna say, like, back to the old fashions. So we talked about right or wrong. So you go into a higher end restaurant and you expect the classic cocktail list, of which old fashioned is on that. When you walk into a place, there's the we'll get into grading. You talked about or ranking old fashions on a 1 to 10, and how we come up with that rating. But part of it is the atmosphere when you walk in, and a steak place has that when you already walk through the door, right? You got the white tablecloths, the aproned servers that come up and serve the table, right? So there's you start off with a beer or a cocktail, and then you get into your wine, you have your steak. So 100%. Old fashioned is definitely on the table. But then
do you feel that
how they make it? So it's like the ranking, we'll cover it later, but is the ambience, like where you go. Once again, you don't order an old fashioned at a place that makes beer.
No.
We've done it with not very good success, but
we give them their just dessert.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
We like old fashions.
You want to
prepare. It's a go-to, right?
Listen, so, I don't want to sound pretentious, but I know.
Well, you kind of talked about the wines, all right? So
listen, you could disagree all you want.
I will,
but you're wrong.
All right.
Jesus.
Sorry, that I just wanted to finish that part on the old fashioned.
No, it's good. It's good. I do think that an old fashioned is something that should be on the tail end of a meal as well. I don't think that if you're going to have a very rich meal that you should order it at the beginning. It's more of a finishing cocktail or by itself. Like, we've gone to restaurants where
I like it as both.
Well, yes, of course we do, but that's because we love old fashions. But I mean, like, if you were to describe your perfect evening, I think that you, obviously depending on the food and what time of night it is and who you're with, I
don't think either of those matter. Anyways, continue.
You know what? I don't know what it is that, like, for me, I say I don't care, but I'm like, I feel
clearly you do.
I think I would feel bad if somebody judged me. They're like, this motherfucker, we came for a nice pasta dinner and he ordered a fucking old fashioned to start the meal. This guy has a drinking problem. No, that's completely unwarranted. That's
Well,
just perspective.
if you go to a place, I guess when you walk into a pasta place, and we've
Mhm.
been to a few, what do you order before you? When they come in, they
I-
ask for a drink order. What are you ordering when you
I
first
order
walk
something
in?
fresh.
Like,
So not white wine, but also white wine would be something. That's why when we've gone
now
out,
you sound like an alcoholic, because now you're a bottle of white wine,
no,
and then you're a
fuck you. I
bottle
didn't
of
say
red wine.
bottle, you son of a bitch.
Well, if you're gonna do it, you're probably not by yourself, so you're gonna order a bottle.
Listen,
Let's say you're drinking it by
You're
yourself.
supposed to be on my side.
I am on your side. I'm
Okay.
just trying to lay
Okay,
this out.
if anybody has gone out with me for an evening, they know what is my favorite thing to order first.
Depends on where we go.
Motherfucker, don't fuck with the crowd.
No, I'm
don't
serious.
fuck with the audience. Don't fuck with it.
No, like you get
Our friendship depends
you get a
on
beer
you.
and a Caesar.
Okay, what was the second thing?
A Caesar.
Correct. That is what I start my evening with. So if no matter where we go, I find it as a good starter cocktail, as something that is good to just get the juices flowing. And then if I order a burger, I'm going to order beer. If I order meat, I'm going to order a red. If I order pasta, I'm going to get a white. And then I'm going to finish with a sour.
You're getting a fake burger then?
What do you mean? A fake
Well,
burger?
you said, well, if I get beer, if I get a burger, I'm going to order a beer. But if I order meat, I'm getting something different. So you're getting
you
Beyond
piece of
Meat
shit
burger. Is that what you're ordering?
This is your kid at fucking, we're watching Grey Cup and he's trolling me the whole time.
Well, it goes around, man.
You know what? I gave it to him pretty hard too.
Absolutely, you did.
But he
needs
gives it. He needs it.
Yeah, but he gives it back, and
He
it's
does.
fine.
You
take it like a champ for the most part. And there's a little bit of crying later, but it's okay.
Well, so does he. It was like you could see him shake a little bit, like, oh, this son of a bitch. It's good. It's good that because we, between the two of us, we have 5 kids, and they're all from 10 all the way to 21.
Yes,
your oldest is 21, so we get a very eclectic, and I think that all of our kids are very different. My youngest versus your youngest, very different.
Yes.
But even my oldest versus your youngest, very different personality traits.
Oh yeah.
And
well, even between all 3 of mine,
big
or
time.
your 2,
massively different.
Absolutely.
So it's good, because I think that when I was the age of your oldest, I was full of piss and vinegar, and I lacked somebody to challenge that ideology. And I think that your oldest, when I challenge him, there are times when he's doing it to troll me, but there are times when he's like, oh shit, I didn't think about that. Oh, I didn't think about that.
But then my youngest would give it as good as you do.
He's got a unique ability to fuck with me.
Well, he's also got
fuck with everybody.
He's got 2 older brothers, and a dad that he's like, and at that teenage years, even with your oldest,
who thinks white wine should go with meat. Which
what's wrong with that? I don't see a problem. Now, if you want to have your bohemian and like, a cordon bleu or a rare steak or whatever.
Have you gone to a restaurant and ordered a cordon bleu? Right? It's not one of those things. It's one of the.
No, I see it, but I've had it at home, but I've never ordered it at a restaurant.
Exactly. It's one of those dishes that seems fancy and that you would make yourself. And you can even go to Sobeys and grab it. They have them pre-made in that pre-made meat section. Great. Wonderful. But it's not.
I usually buy the box ones, but that's okay.
The frozen box ones?
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
Well, sometimes, when you go to practice or whatever, you need something quick. And that's got a bunch of stuff in it. So
nope. I still won't freeze that. Oh, God.
You're so pretentious.
You know what? My kids go, obviously I have them 1 week on, 1 week off with my ex. And and they say like, your food is so much better than mom's house. And I'm like, well, yeah, because she does things like freeze fresh cordon bleu and expect it to taste good.
I think it tastes good.
It's okay.
It's because that's because I had a nice cold beer with it. It was fine. You know, they didn't have an old fashioned with that, but you know,
Okay. You know, to finish off this thought process, because we've talked a lot about this, I think we should describe what we're drinking.
oh yeah.
So we should.
Well, we are having an old fashioned.
We are having an old fashioned,
and
but
we
I
each
think that it's best that we
brought a bottle to test.
for sure.
this,
but I think like the reason why it's set up in front of us is so we can, you know, shout out that that distillery or that product, and so people know what we're drinking, so that we can give our
kudos,
sure. Congratulations or discouragement from ever making, and then we can move on to you know, the other stuff. So I bought the genuine extra Brooks Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey.
We tried it straight before we mixed it into an old
we
fashioned.
did, because I think generally we want to know how that
The flavor
or how
profile.
that bourbon smells,
Yep.
how that bourbon tastes. Does it need to open up? Does it need to
and it did,
which it did, which it now it's completely better than when we first had it.
Yes, like to have it straight, no ice, no nothing. It was it's bourbon. It was a little harsh to start with. There were definitely some sense and some flavor profiles to it, but as we mixed it into the old fashioned and we added the ice and we let it mellow for a bit and open up, it definitely the first couple sips as an old fashioned, it was still a little harsh, but now that you know, we've let it sit for a bit through this podcast, it's opened up and it tastes much better. That it's had a chance
I think
to do
other than, you know, we are not affiliated, we are not sponsored, although we would love to be sponsored by Buffalo Trace. I think Buffalo Trace is something that we've bonded over, because that's something that is uniquely smooth no matter how you like it. It is not harsh, has sweet, buttery kind of notes as it progresses. But yeah, so we've had the extra Brooks. We've used now granted, this has always been contentious with me, because you buy these kits, whether they're off Amazon or you buy them from the liquor store.
You're getting too far ahead. We got to talk about before we.
We're not going to go into the. We're going to start from the base.
Yeah, we're
through the cocktail. Okay,
we got to build an old fashioned.
Guard everything that I just said.
No, other than the bourbon part. The bourbon part's okay.
Yes, keep the bourbon part.
Like, you could still have a bourbon, or sorry, you can have an old fashioned, and then you can have a smoked old fashioned.
Should we
like
talk about how we can? I think how we construct the drink itself. Maybe we should go in that order. So it started off. I took the orange peel.
Yep.
And I
with your fancy new tool that didn't work.
Fuck that tool. Okay. Like the bane of my existence is these tools.
Sometimes you just got to try stuff, right?
You know what? I will go bankrupt off these fucking tools that I keep buying to enjoy things.
Yeah, buy the right stuff. But you got to try it till you know.
Had a terrible tool that didn't work, and we ended up using a knife, but we lined the rim
old school.
Yes, old school, just used a paring knife.
Yes.
And had an orange peel, went around the rim, broke it so that fragrantly it would release the citric acid, put it in the cocktail, added the simple syrup. Now, normally we make a simple syrup ourselves, which is 1 part sugar to 1 part water. That's a basic simple syrup.
Usually, yeah. And then
we've adapted that, and we'll get into that as weeks progress. But I decided this week that I was going to buy a handcrafted simple syrup from Canmore, Alberta, Wildlife Distillery, and it did the trick. I don't think it had any notes.
No,
that came through. It was just a simple syrup.
Yep.
It was just sugar and water, which seemed to be good. Then we added 2 ounces of the extra Brooks genuine bourbon, and then smoked it after that with a, like I said, contentious.
Well, don't forget there was bitters in there before we got to the smoke.
I didn't bring the bitters.
They're just citrus Angostura bitters is what we used.
I think orange ones
yeah,
is what I used.
I think it was
Mix that around and then added the walnut wood chips. I'm not necessarily sold. I know the difference on these generic ones you buy off of Amazon. But it smoked it pretty good this time.
yes.
Yes.
There was a lot of trial and error, experimentation to figure out how to do it. Sometimes less is more on the wood chips when you're putting it into the smoker.
Mm-hmm.
It just allows it to breathe and the smoke to get in there better.
Mm-hmm.
At least that's what you told me earlier. I usually put too much in and then wonder why I can't get smoke into the cocktail.
Why there's no smoke in the cocktail?
More is better, right? No, I screwed that
No,
up.
actually,
So
less is better
less
when it
is
comes
better,
to
yes,
smoking a
yes.
cocktail.
So, this is all the trial and error as we, mix our syrup.
We
or
have-
try smoking or whatever. These are things that we come up with, and
And we probably have 100,000 different combinations of this cocktail to explore, from whiskeys, well, bourbons, to simple syrups, to different ways to smoke, to different ways to make it, but also like places that we go to have it, because I think like we've we've had experiences where like this is the worst old fashioned we've ever had.
yes, we won't say that one right now, but it was like, and to put it into perspective, one of the ones they had on the menu was a PB&J old fashioned. I don't know how you make that work.
They did.
But we decided to order just a regular old fashioned, and it was terrible.
Yes.
But that's back to my comment.
Yes, we
like,
did.
know the place that you're going to know what you're ordering. That would have been like if you ordered a highball or a Cuba Libre or a
Stop
screwdriver
calling it that.
or a beer. It would have been fine. But that's not an old fashioned place, right?
No.
So, but we tried it anyways, and that's okay.
Well, and that's what we've done. We've been to probably 24 places since we've been friends. Tried different
Is
places.
that all?
Well, maybe it's been more.
I don't know.
Now
Seems like we've had
I'm
a
both
lot of them.
confused and
Well, now we got to count it.
we did it. Well, we didn't intend when we became friends. What is 5 years?
At least
Yeah, it's been a while.
it's been a while.
Oh, Jesus. I guess I'm old now.
You are. Wow.
When I first met you, you had your whole life ahead of you.
I still do. I got old fashions and podcasts ahead of me.
It's like I never thought.
And red wine and pasta.
I swear to God, I'll kill you. I'm gonna make homemade pasta for you,
And I'll still drink
and
red
then
wine.
I'm gonna put
I'll
red and a white out.
I'll bring a Pinot Noir for you, okay?
You can get the fuck out of my house.
No, man, you'll like it. It's fine.
I won't.
We'll agree to disagree. You'll make the pasta. I'll bring the wine, and we'll all be happy.
You know,
And then we'll still
one of
drink an
those things
old-fashioned
takes
and
2
it's good.
hours, and the other one just takes a quick stop on the liquor store on the way here. Fuck you.
It's still delicious either way. I don't care how much time is put into
This is true. This is true.
how much time we put in old fashions. We drink a lot of these.
We've had
More than one.
more than one. I'm now trying to figure out like how many times have we had old fashions?
Like together or separate, or when you go,
Well,
I guess let me
both,
ask you
I guess.
ask you this. So since we became friends and we decided that we liked old fashions,
Was there like one point when we went like we crossed that precipice? We were like precipice,
I don't know.
precipice, where we were like, hey, this is just a guy that I see occasionally to like, this is my friend.
Well, there was definitely a point. I don't know when that point was. But like when you go out, because way before this podcast became a thing, and obviously we like old fashions and we like trying them.
Mhm.
When
And
you go-
talking. We like talking.
Yeah, and talking. Yes.
God, we love talking.
Yes. When you go out, so when you go out with your partner or you go out with friends and you order an old fashioned,
Mhm.
are you thinking about all the things that we just talked about? Like,
I am, but I'm also thinking about you,
I like that.
right? Okay. But I'm like, it's gone to
kind
the
of
point.
weird, but you know,
Listen, if I'm discussing wine, I'll bring in my spouse
Yeah.
because she is a wine fucking snob, and we love her to death, but she's a unique individual. When I'm drinking an old fashioned,
so
I
you're
go,
an old-fashioned snob. Is that what you're saying?
well, yeah, no, you know what I am. I absolutely fucking am.
I
I'm
agree.
criticizing you on your ability to serve me an old fashioned.
Yes, 100%. Right from when you walk through the door
Mm-hmm.
to, you know,
Especially if
type
you're
of
going to
bourbon
advertise that you have old fashions. Fuck you.
they better be good.
You're getting the gamut of reviews here.
Yes. So every place I go to and I see an old fashioned, like it's a go-to. We talked about, you know, you start with a Caesar. If I see an old fashioned on the menu, I'm all dressed up nice. I'm at a fancy place, and
Yeah, you got your
old-fashioned's on
hair
the menu.
all fucking
Yeah,
done.
my
You got that. You got that like that shirt.
Yeah.
That's uniquely Trev.
Oh yeah.
I'm like that motherfucker.
I'm ordering an old fashioned, maybe a couple, right?
Yes,
And
but
I'm
when
thinking all
a
of it.
couple years ago when we went out for New Year's and we went to Scarlet, or no, it was the King James.
King
No.
James, yeah.
Yeah, when we went and had those oysters, I didn't see you ordering an old fashioned. You
That's
had
because what was on special?
fucking
Champagne and oysters.
motherfucker. So what
we
goes
got-
with oysters, motherfucker?
Well, why is it?
Champagne. That's right.
But if they said
Nope.
we're
end of
having
story.
oysters and old fashions, I would have gotten old
Well,
fashioned.
nobody would have showed up because they don't pair together.
But we were the only ones that had oysters and champagne.
And old fashions after.
Yes, we definitely had old fashions after. There was a few of them.
And then we made a
But
terrible decision to go to Hudson's.
Did our
young children?
did our partners have old fashions with us?
No,
Actually, wait.
they
Did
drank-
our partners have champagne and oysters with us? No, we crushed both those by ourselves.
Yeah,
Like
yeah. Our partners love
champagne and
oysters
orange juice.
Yes, exactly. They love mimosas, but they there's like they do this. Both of ours are exactly the same, and they're like, one, oh well, that was a really good oyster. Two, that was a really good oyster, and then three, and they're like,
It wasn't quite like that, but close
Mine
enough. But
did.
you,
Mine
mine was.
we did that last night. We had oysters, and she got to three, and then she's like, and I was like, well. You
I'll
know,
finish them. Don't worry.
as soon as she went
fast,
I was like, "That's Trev." I wish Trev was here. He would eat these oysters
oh
with
yeah, I'd smash that.
me.
But it's another one of those things. It's
Mhm.
found fancy like oysters and champagne. That sounds amazing. It's so romantic and blah blah blah. No, I'm not into that. Okay, I'll crush the rest of it and I'll drink an old fashioned after. Like whatever.
Well, it's I just I think there's a plethora of ways to enjoy an old fashioned, I guess, and wine and alcohol. And I, you know,
And we'll talk about each of those. Like I said, the Caesars I think deserves its own episode just because.
well,
of
I think all
stuff,
cocktails
but even
do.
cocktails, and we're gonna try them. Like we're gonna try a lot, but our go to is definitely the old fashioned.
I
like-
will not. I promise our audience, all four of them, because our spouses are the only ones that.
What about our kids? We'll make our kids.
Listen, I got a long way before my kids can enjoy old fashions.
No, I meant just listening to this.
Oh, but they only gonna listen to this so that they can, you know, it'll be the middle of the night. Fuck your podcast. We've trained very acute children that can smell bullshit and are adversed in talking shit.
Well, that's a good skill to have, though.
I think so. I think the ways to connect, at least for men, is the ways to connect is talking shit. It's like, can you talk shit?
I don't think it's gender specific. Like
I don't ever hear women talking shit. No, hold on. It's different.
No, I agree. It is different.
It's different.
But they
It's like-
definitely.
It's like my boyfriend, he doesn't fucking get me enough flowers. God damn it. That's what
That's a whole other like. Let's just whoa. We'll stop that right here. We'll chat about that later. A couple more old fashions, and we'll dissect that.
Their talking shit looks different than men.
Yes. Ours is more direct. It's open. It's direct.
It is, but it's like it is a very unique skill to, even men will tell you, just give it to me straight, man. Like, I can take it.
They're
And
liars.
most can't.
They're liars.
Yeah, absolutely. Most cannot.
No, I need you to sugarcoat that a little bit. Put a little bit of simple syrup on that. Just break it down easy. I'm like, all right, man.
I think like it's important that every guy at some point in their life takes it too far and they have to look their friend in the face like, oh shit, I may have crossed the line.
It usually happens after, we talked about how many old fashions you never know. You get to that point and it's like, oh, that's it. That's that conversation you had. It's like, oh, I had that one too many and I might have crossed the line there. Well, we'll see if we're still friends tomorrow.
I have never
had
done
one
that.
too many or crossed the line.
Both.
Okay. Just so we're clear. Well, I think all that being said, we've talked about it. We've talked about what we're having tonight, and when we do the next one, we'll dive a little bit deeper into
this
it.
This was a great start because I think that the old fashioned was the focal point of this entire podcast, which is what we wanted.
Yes,
I think we wanted to talk about.
Well, as a starter, I think old fashions, and I mean, there's the dad part of it, and then there's just being old fashioned dads and in general. But then we'll talk about cocktails and what we like, what we don't like, and I mean, everybody's entitled to make their own decision, and I'm still gonna drink red wine with your pasta and blah blah blah.
Yeah, you're not welcome in my home, but I love you to death, like a brother or a weird older dad. But like we're
like brothers.
No, we're like at the acceptable level. We're like, all right, we're brothers. All right, you're just like we're of that family that like
just
had kids,
I'm older, better looking brother. It is. It's true.
I'm gonna respectfully disagree.
All right. Guess that's how we'll end this then.
What's this?
I guess that's how we'll end this.
with a respectfully disagreement on whether each of us is better looking than the other. No, but in all seriousness, we'll get in further and we will talk about, we had talked about where this podcast goes and whether it is, I think old fashions is a great opportunity to open up the flow of conversation. And we
usually alcohol, but we'll just describe it as old fashioned.
We're gonna say old fashions because it fits with our mantra of
like
our name and who we are. But we'll sprinkle in things about being dads and being coaches and being mentors and business owners. And we definitely, I think most people would say we've lived multiple lives and we've never shied away from taking chances or adventures that may have led us down different roads, but
that's what life's about.
Exactly. And it's just really good to use this as a outlet for expressing that.
I use it as an excuse to drink old fashions.
Oh yeah, we just get away from our wives this way. It's like
said I gotta record.
Sorry, honey, I gotta record a podcast.
No, you're going out drinking with your friend Justin.
No, I'm not.
No, this is business. We're recording stuff.
We've got an LLC and everything. You have no idea, honey. We have to do this.
Yeah, 100%.
Well, let's end it there. And thanks for coming over to our weird makeshift studio that we have that eventually we'll explore on maybe getting some video, but this was a great opportunity to catch up and kind of talk about where this is going to go and how it started.
I can't wait for the next one.
There we fucking go. All right, fuckers.